Among history's most remarkable figures, Agnes Keith, Countess of Moray, was born around the year 1540 in Dunnottar Castle, Aberdeenshire, Scotland. But how did the daughter of a powerful nobleman rise to become one of the most influential women in Scotland? And what challenges did she overcome? What legacy did her actions leave on Scottish politics and nobility? Please watch my full video until the end, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please make sure to share it with your friends. Thank you. Now, let's dive into the full story. Agnes Keith was the daughter of William Keith, the 4th Earl Marischal, and Margaret Keith, both from prominent families with strong political influence. As a young girl, Agnes was well educated, preparing her for a life of leadership and noble responsibilities. Her upbringing immersed her in the world of political intrigue and courtly affairs, shaping her future role as a powerful and influential figure in Scotland. Agnes's marriage to James Stewart, the First Earl of Moray, in February of 1562, brought her into the heart of Scottish politics. Her husband, a half-brother of Mary, Queen of Scots, played a significant role as the Regent of Scotland, and their union positioned Agnes as a key player in the royal court. Her early life was shaped by both personal and political challenges. But it was her marriage and the events that followed that would define her legacy in the complex history of Scotland. Agnes Keith's life took a major turn when she married James Stewart, the First Earl of Moray, on the 8th of February, 1562. James was the illegitimate half-brother of Mary, Queen of Scots, and he held significant power as the Regent of Scotland. This marriage positioned Agnes at the center of Scottish politics and royal affairs, making her one of the most powerful women in the country. As the wife of the regent, Agnes became a key figure in Scottish politics. She managed the affairs of their estates and had a strong influence on the political decisions of the time. With her sharp intelligence and political savvy, Agnes quickly established herself as a force to be reckoned with, often working behind the scenes to ensure her family's interests were secured. Her power reached its peak between 1567 and 1570, when her husband served as regent for the young King James VI. During this time, Agnes was considered the most influential woman in Scotland, and her decisions shaped the course of the nation's political landscape. Her marriage also made her a sister-in-law to Queen Mary, which brought both opportunities and challenges, especially considering the complex political dynamics between the two women. Agnes's position was not without its dangers. Her husband's role in the regency made him many enemies, and Agnes herself became a target for political opposition. Yet, her ability to navigate these challenges further cemented her role as a central figure in Scotland's turbulent political world. On the 23rd of January, 1570, tragedy struck Scotland when James Stewart, the First Earl of Moray, was assassinated. While riding through the streets of Linlithgow, James was shot by James Hamilton of Bothwellhaugh, a supporter of Mary, Queen of Scots. The assassination sent shockwaves through Scotland and left Agnes Keith, the Countess of Moray, devastated and in a precarious position. At the time of her husband's death, Agnes was pregnant, and she soon gave birth to a daughter, Margaret, shortly afterward. The murder of her husband not only left a gap in Scottish leadership, but also thrust Agnes into a complex legal and political battle. As the widow of the regent, Agnes found herself responsible for managing their estates and ensuring the continued influence of her family in the political sphere. In the aftermath of James's assassination, Agnes faced numerous challenges. She fought legal battles to secure financial compensation for her husband's debt, which had accumulated during his time as regent. While dealing with these financial matters, she also had to navigate the dangerous political landscape that had been made even more volatile by her husband's murder. Agnes's resilience and political acumen were put to the test as she fought to maintain the Moray family's power and status. Despite these trials, Agnes continued to assert her influence. She not only managed her family's estates, but also played a role in ongoing political struggles. Her strength in the face of adversity solidified her reputation as a capable and influential woman, even in the most difficult of circumstances. After the assassination of her first husband, Agnes Keith's life took another significant turn when she married Colin Campbell, the sixth Earl of Argyll, in the year 1572. Colin was the heir presumptive to the earldom, and his political influence in Scotland added to Agnes's already substantial power. This marriage brought Agnes into a new circle of Scottish nobility, but it also introduced fresh challenges. As Countess of Argyll, Agnes was again thrust into the spotlight of Scottish politics. Her second marriage was marked by political tensions, particularly due to Agnes's involvement in the dispute over the crown jewels of Mary, Queen of Scots. These jewels, which had been in the custody of Agnes's late first husband, became the subject of a bitter legal battle. Agnes refused to surrender the jewels to the Scottish government, which sparked a feud between her second husband, Earl Argyll, and the Regent Morton. This conflict not only tested Agnes's political skill, but also demonstrated her unyielding determination to protect her family's interests. Despite the mounting pressure, Agnes continued to play a key role in the political dynamics of Scotland, navigating the turbulent waters of courtly intrigue and noble feuds. Her second marriage, though filled with its own set of complexities, helped to secure her position within Scotland's noble hierarchy. She and Colin Campbell had several children, ensuring that the influence of the Keith and Campbell families would continue to be felt across Scotland for years to come. One of the most significant challenges Agnes Keith faced after her second marriage was her involvement in a legal battle over the jewels of Mary, Queen of Scots. These precious jewels had come into the possession of Agnes's late first husband, James Stewart, the First Earl of Moray, during his regency. After his assassination, Agnes found herself holding on to the jewels, which had immense political value and were seen as a symbol of power. The Scottish government, led by Regent Morton, demanded that the jewels be returned, but Agnes refused to hand them over. She argued that the jewels were owed to her due to the financial debts her late husband had incurred while acting as regent. Agnes maintained that they were a form of collateral for these debts, and that they rightfully belonged to her family. This refusal to surrender the jewels sparked a prolonged and bitter conflict. Regent Morton insisted that the jewels be returned to the crown, but Agnes stood firm in her position, even as the pressure mounted. The dispute became a source of political tension, as it not only involved Agnes, but also her second husband, the Earl of Argyll, whose political alliances were at stake. Agnes's determination to retain the jewels demonstrated her intelligence and political acumen. She knew the value of the jewels not only as valuable artifacts, but as a key asset in maintaining her family's power and influence. Despite the growing opposition, Agnes was able to use her legal and diplomatic skills to delay the confiscation of the jewels, though she was eventually forced to surrender them in the year 1575. Agnes Keith, Countess of Moray and later Countess of Argyll, was known for her remarkable influence on Scottish politics. Throughout her life, she demonstrated an exceptional ability to navigate the complex political landscape of 16th century Scotland, especially during the turbulent times that followed her husband's assassination. Her political savvy allowed her to retain power and influence, even as Scotland experienced frequent changes in leadership and political alliances. Her actions, particularly her refusal to surrender Queen Mary's jewels, earned her both admiration and criticism. Supporters saw her as a determined and astute political figure who was willing to stand up for her family's interests, while her detractors viewed her as a stubborn and defiant noblewoman who challenged the authority of the government. Regardless of the opinions surrounding her, Agnes's political decisions had far-reaching consequences. and her actions often played a pivotal role in shaping the direction of Scottish politics during her time. Agnes was known to be both intelligent and intimidating, with a sharp mind for strategy. She was often involved in key political decisions, and her involvement in her second husband's affairs ensured that her influence remained strong. Many feared her, and even her own family members, such as George Gordon, the fifth Earl of Huntly, felt her wrath when their actions displeased her. Agnes's strong will and her ability to manage both her family's estates and political matters made her one of the most powerful women in Scotland during her lifetime. After the assassination of her first husband, James Stewart, the First Earl of Moray, Agnes Keith took on the critical responsibility of managing the Moray estates. As the widow of the regent, Agnes's role became even more important, as the family's estates were vast and required careful oversight. She took charge of the financial and administrative affairs of the estates, ensuring their continued prosperity despite the turbulent political climate. Agnes was known for her organizational skills and her ability to maintain the economic stability of the Moray family's lands. She expertly navigated the complex network of tenants, landowners, and political alliances, making sure that the estates remained profitable and that her children were well provided for. Her leadership ensured that the Moray family's wealth and influence remained intact, even as other noble families were destabilized by political strife. In addition to managing the estates, Agnes also faced a series of legal challenges as she fought to secure compensation for her husband's debts and protect the family's assets. She worked diligently to defend the Moray family's interests, often employing her legal expertise and political connections to resolve conflicts in their favor. Her strong leadership and effective management allowed the Moray estates to thrive, even in the aftermath of her husband's tragic death. Agnes's actions not only protected her family's wealth, but also ensured that their legacy endured. Her ability to maintain control of such vast estates in a time of instability is a testament to her resilience and political acumen. Agnes Keith, Countess of Moray, faced personal tragedies alongside her political struggles, particularly in the lives of her children. She had 3 daughters with her first husband, James Stewart, the First Earl of Moray, Elizabeth, Annabel, and Margaret. Each of her children's lives was marked by both promise and sorrow. Her eldest daughter, Elizabeth Stewart, went on to become the second Countess of Moray after her father's death. Elizabeth married James Stewart of Down, and though she had 5 children, she died young on the 18th of November, 1591. The loss of Elizabeth was a significant blow to Agnes, who had invested much hope in her daughter's future. Annabel Stewart, born in May of 1568, was another child who faced an untimely death. Annabel's life was brief, passing away in the year 1570 shortly after her birth. The loss of Annabel added to the grief Agnes had already endured following her husband's assassination. The youngest of Agnes's children, Margaret Stewart, was born posthumously after her father's death. Margaret married Francis Hay, the 9th Earl of Errol, but the marriage was childless. Margaret died before the 3rd of August, 1586. Further deepening the grief Agnes experienced as a mother. Despite the many personal losses, Agnes's determination to preserve her family's name and legacy remained strong. Her children's deaths, though heartbreaking, did not diminish her ability to carry on her political and familial duties with strength and resolve. In the later years of her life, Agnes Keith, Countess of Argyll, faced several personal and financial challenges that tested her resilience. After her second marriage to Colin Campbell, the 6th Earl of Argyll, Agnes became embroiled in a series of political and legal struggles. One of the most significant challenges she faced was her excommunication by the Church of Scotland in the year 1573. This punishment was imposed due to her involvement in her second marriage and her refusal to adhere to the Church's expectations regarding her relationship with her husband. Despite the excommunication, Agnes remained a strong figure in Scottish politics and continued to wield considerable influence. Her ability to navigate the complicated political and religious landscape of the time was a testament to her intelligence and tenacity. However, her financial situation became increasingly precarious. After her husband's death, she was forced to deal with legal battles over debts incurred during his time as regent. Agnes's determination to secure financial compensation for these debts led her to spend years in negotiation and legal struggle. In addition to these challenges, Agnes also found herself pawning her own jewels to raise money. This struggle to maintain her wealth and status was compounded by the loss of her children and the growing tensions in her personal and political life. Despite these difficulties, Agnes's perseverance ensured that she was able to retain a significant degree of influence in Scotland, though the final years of her life were marked by financial strain and personal sorrow. Agnes Keith, Countess of Moray and later Countess of Argyll, passed away on the 16th of July, 1588 in Edinburgh, Scotland. Her death marked the end of a tumultuous life filled with both triumphs and tragedies. Agnes had witnessed the rise and fall of powerful figures, including her first husband, James Stewart, the First Earl of Moray, and the subsequent challenges she faced as a widow and mother. Despite the difficulties, she remained an influential figure in Scottish politics and nobility until her death. Following her passing, Agnes was buried in St. Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh, a significant resting place for prominent figures of the time. Her tomb was located in St. Anthony's Isle, a space reserved for individuals of noble rank. The monument, carved by John Roytell and Murdoch Walker, served as a testament to her status and influence in Scottish society. Her death was not just a personal loss, but also marked the end of an era in Scottish politics, as Agnes had been a central figure in many of the country's most significant political events. Agnes's legacy continued to resonate through her children and descendants, ensuring that her name remained a part of Scottish history long after her death. Agnes Keith, Countess of Moray and later Countess of Argyll, left a significant mark on Scottish history through her leadership, resilience, and strategic mind. Throughout her life, she navigated the turbulent political landscape of 16th century Scotland, becoming a powerful figure in the courts of Mary, Queen of Scots, and in her husband's regency. Agnes's ability to hold on to power after her husband's assassination and manage the vast estates of the Moray family demonstrated her political savvy. Her refusal to surrender the jewels of Mary, Queen of Scots, which led to a prolonged legal battle, revealed her strong determination to protect her family's legacy. Agnes's actions, while at times controversial, played a key role in the political dynamics of her era. She was known for her intelligence and was considered an intimidating force in Scottish politics. Agnes's legacy also lived on through her children, particularly her daughter Elizabeth, who succeeded her as the second Countess of Moray. Though she experienced personal losses and struggles, Agnes remained a respected figure whose impact on Scottish nobility was undeniable. Her contributions to the political landscape, coupled with her personal strength, ensured that her name remained embedded in Scotland's rich history. Her legacy continues to be celebrated, not only for her influence, but for the lasting imprint she left on Scottish politics, demonstrating that even in the face of adversity, she played a central role in shaping her country's future. Agnes Keith, Countess of Moray and later Countess of Argyll, was one of the most influential women in Scottish history. Her life was defined by personal tragedies, political struggles, and remarkable achievements. From managing the vast estates of the Moray family to navigating the complexities of Scottish politics, Agnes demonstrated resilience and strength in the face of adversity. Her legacy lives on through her contributions to Scotland's political landscape and the enduring impact she had on her family and the nation's history. Agnes's story serves as a reminder of the power and influence that women held, even in the midst of a male-dominated society. Her life, full of challenges and triumphs, remains a testament to her lasting impact on Scotland's history. Thank you very much for watching.